Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today we continue a talk about the perfect man. How should a perfect man be? Rumi tells the following story of a man who was locked in a chest for his personal evil desires. The story of a Qadi and the chest. Qadi here means magistrate. There lived a poor man called Juhi. He had a beautiful wife, attractive and charming. One day, Juhi said to her, "Darling, you have a weapon of beauty. Why don't you use it to hunt some lustful man? Show him your wish, but don't surrender." She went to a Qadi and complained, "I appeal you for your help against my faithless husband." When the Qadi saw her charming face and heard her melodious voice, he went out of himself. He said, "Dear woman, there is a big rush here. Come to my home so I may listen to your claim peacefully." The woman said, "At your house there can be no peace. You better come to my house where there is a peace and tranquility. Generally, my husband is not at home." The Qadi, being deceived by his ego and lust, went to her house. He was about to involve in love with her when Juhi knocked at the door. Hello. The Qadi found no place to hide but an empty chest in the room. He went into it. When Juhi came in, he began to speak to his wife like this: "My dear, I have nothing in this house due to poverty, but this chest, which is a source of suspicion and ground for evil thoughts. Because of this chest, people think that I have treasure hidden in it. They don't think that I am a poor man. So I must get rid of it. I shall take it to the street, burn it, or sell it." So, next morning, Juhi with great speed tied up the chest and brought a porter home and put the chest on his back. When they set out, and Juhi was a bit further backwards, Qadi began to talk to the porter and said, "Oh porter, listen to me." The porter thought it was some unnatural being and began to look around in surprise and awe. Soon he discovered that the voice came out of the chest. The Qadi requested him to find his deputy and tell him to buy the chest before it was burned or sold out. The porter did so, as was he told. The deputy of the Qadi gave 500 dinars to Juhi, and he took the chest to Qadi's house. This is the story. And Juhi had some money for 3 years. He came again, but this act didn't work because Qadi recognized him. Say, "Get out." Now, why is this story? What's the chest here? The chest is a physical box in which you are closed up, or maybe coffin of the world in which you are locked forever. Somebody must take you out to free you from this worldly desires, which is the production of your mental function. Mind is a physical object. It likes physical things. Rumi puts these verses in the story to explain the purpose. He explained the purpose in these verses, which I'm going to read now. "Aşıki ki dar gam-e maşuk raft, gerçe berun ast, dar sanduk raft. Ömr dar sanduk burd az undeha, juz ke sanduk nabind az jahan. آنسری که نیست فوقی آسمان از هوس او را در آن صندوق دان. The lover who possesses this world with some worries of physical love, although he may seem to be outside of the chest, he is right inside it. He spends his life in the chest with worries and fails to see nothing outside but only the chest. So a person who wants to see God must come out of the chest of this worldly attraction. Rumi also gave up selfhood after meeting Shams Tabrizi, and he says, رفتم ز دست من در بیخودی افتادم در بیخودی مطلق چنی که شادم. I have lost my control and fell into selfness, and with the free selfhood I am so happy. This is in the Mathnawi, and he continues, advises us, خودش را صافی کن از اوصاف خود تا ببینی ذات پاک صاف خود. Clean you of your own attributes so that you may see the clean being in you. Rumi lays much emphasis on cleaning selfhood throughout the Mathnawi. زان که هستی سخت مستی آورد عقل از سر شرم از دل بیبرد. Once selfhood causes severe intoxication, it takes away intelligence from head and shame from heart. And he continues to say, جمله عالم ز اختیار رو هست خود می گریزد در سر مست خود می گریزند از خودی در بی خودی یا با مستی یا با شغل ای مهتدی. All the people in the world, because of their own will or self-being, run to the drunken minds. O well-conducted men, they run from their selfhood to selfness because of intoxication or because of some occupation. Those who fail to see for the spiritual peace are not in the worldly affairs. Rumi gives this advice to non-believers. The most interesting story is his advice to Pharaoh. The conversation between Moses and Pharaoh gives an idea how a worldly man differs from a believer. گر پذیری پند موسی وارهی از چنین شست بد نامنتهی پس که خود را کرده ای بنده هوا کرمی را کرده ای تو اژدها. If you listen to Moses, you will set yourself free of these eternal troubles and have made yourself a slave of show, which you will get rid of. You have changed an insect into a dragon. You think you are everything. You have created your world according to your own feelings and conception, and the curtain of piety of pious man is your dirty feeling. You have collected rust on your like a statue on metal, which you can clean yourself. It's not impossible, he said to Pharaoh. Then Moses counts the benefits of believing in God. He says, 1, the first benefit of believing is that you will have healthy living. Okay. The second is that you have long life and begin to see treasure in death. You're not afraid of death. And you believe that death will free you from all the troubles you have around you. Because to find treasure, first the old building is demolished. Then you get to the treasure. So death will be like a treasure-looking opportunity. The last one is that you are always young and healthy, while your face looks fresh and charming like flowers of Judah's tree. And then he says that you would not only have great riches of this world, but also riches of the world hereafter. So that's another benefit of believing. And in Diwan Kabir, Rumi says, Agar dil az ghame dunya juda toni kard, nishat o eish ba bagh baka tawani kard. Agar ba ab riyazat barawari ghusali, hama kadawarat dil ra safa tawani kard. If you can keep your heart safe from the worries of the world, you can live in the eternal garden of happiness and pleasure. If you can take bath in the water of hardship and prayers to God, you clean off all the darkness of your heart. Okay, then continues. Ritual prayers, 5-time ritual prayers maybe, protect you from evil feelings. Ba de khashm o ba de shahwat, ba de aaz, burad arakina babad ahle namaz. Those who give up 5-time prayers are hit by the wind of anger, sex, and needs. This wind will turn you down. So better pray to God for the protection. This is very, very important. You have the insurance of God. If you love God, He protects you. فَلَا خَوْفُ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَهُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. They have no fear, no worries. And Rumi says somewhere else that I know there are many, many ditches on the way, but if God is with you, don't worry, my friend. He will help you. And har ke ra zawk din padid ayad, shahd dunyash kay laziz ayad. One who has tasted the pleasures of living God, for him the taste of honey of this world is tasteless. Melahat ha har chehra az on daryast yak qatre, ba qatre sir ki gardad kasi kesh hast istisqad. The charming beauty of every face is a drop from the divine ocean. But how can a drop quench thirst of those who are very, very thirsty? Dila zain tang zindani ha rahi daurat midani ha magar khoftast paye tu pandori nadori pa. Oh dear, there is a way to open field from this narrow prison, but your feet are numbed and you think you have no feet. Chi ruzi hast pinha juzain ruzi ke mijui, chi nihani ha pukhta and ey jan berun az in sanat non ba. There are many foods other than these foods that you see in this world. A lot of bread are there waiting for you, made by other bakeries or bakers. So one should always have hope that in the other world there are better food, better things to eat, better things to live, because you are with God. You don't need this worldly food. Dila nazdik kase benishin ke was dil khabar daurat. He advises this. Bazeri an darakhti ro ke o gul ha ye tar daurat. My sweetheart, sit beside the person who knows your heart and feelings, and sit under the tree that has fresh flowers. And Satan, which is devil, hinders you. Whoever wants to keep you away from God, know that he has a Satan in him, devil. He is carrying Satan under his skin. He keeps you busy now with the idea of shop, creation, or with the idea of a house, home, and even with the fancy of education. Come to yourself and say, God help me, not by tongue, but by the depth of heart. This non-existence is place of income. Do not quit it. A greedy person is like an ant. The ant begins to tremble upon seeing a grain, single grain, because it fails to see all the grains of the depot. It drags the grain along greedily, and fearfully, and do not know how beautiful is God. You are also not only these eyes, you are also not only these eyes, because you have other spiritual eyes behind you. So get out of the impact of this body if you know your soul well. Then he turns to Muhammad and says, Nur Ahmad neholad gebar o jehudi ba jahan saye dawlat o barguman taban bad. گمراهان را ز بیابان همه در راه آرد مصطفی بر راه حق تا به ابد رهبان باد. In this world, neither Jews nor infidels care for the light of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let his shadow of divine light shine over all of us. Muhammad guides the loser of the way from a desert to safety. May he be a guide on the way to God forever. That's what he prays to a person who wants to go to God. He can use the help of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ask for it. مرگ ما هست عروسی ابد، عروسی ابد سر آن چیست هو الله احد. هر که زنده است با نور اله مرگ این روح مرو را راست است مدد. Our death is a wedding day to eternity. Its secret is there is no God but only Him. If you believe there is no God but Him, you free yourself and have great spiritual peace. Thank you.